Hello guys, today we'll be discussing lab program 11. Develop a program to sort the given set of n numbers using bubble sort. We need to implement bubble sort in this program. What do you mean by sorting? Sorting, it is a process of arranging the elements in the ascending order. How this bubble sort technique works? So bubble sort technique works in the following manner. So in a first process, we identify the largest element, bring to its position. We'll bring to its position. The position of largest element would be at the end. In the next process, in the next iteration, we'll find the next largest element and we bring the largest element to its position. The next largest element position would be the last minus one position. In the next process, we'll identify the next largest element and we'll bring to its position. This is how the bubble sort works. So what I will do is I need to traverse the entire array to find the largest element. So to traverse I need to use loop. So if you are using loop, it will be having one variable, loop variable. Compare two elements, first two elements. What is name of first element? A of j. Compare with next element. What's the name of next element? A of j plus 1 will be the next element. So if this is j, then this will be j plus 1. Compare. Is 5 greater than 4? If a of j greater than a of j, if first element is greater than second element, interchange. If I interchange, it becomes 4, 5, 3, 2 and 1. So index value 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now increase the j value. Now j points to next element. Compare this element with the next element, next two element. Compare next two element. So if first element is greater than second element, interchange. So if I interchange, it becomes 4, 3, 5, 2 and 1. So you know the index value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, j plus plus, j points to next element. Compare next two element. Next two elements are 5 and 2. Compare 5 and 2. If first element is greater than second element, means if a of j is greater than a of j plus 1, interchange. So interchange means, so it becomes 4, 3, 2, 5, 1. So index value, you know, 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now j points to next element. So compare the next two elements. Now j is pointing to 3. Compare a of j with a of j plus 1. If first element is greater than second element, interchange. Yes, first element is greater than second element. 5 is greater than 1. So interchange. Then it becomes 4, 3, 2, 1, 5. So index value 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now j points to the last element. That's all. We don't have any other element to compare. Once you reach the last value, you stop your traversal. Once you reach the last value, stop your traversal. So this is the first process. In a first process, we have brought the largest element to its position. This is the position of 5 out of these 5 elements. So in a next iteration, in a next process, we need to identify the next largest element. Now I need to perform operation with respect to these 4 elements. So the last element has reached its position. So we'll be performing operation with these 4 elements, that is 4, 3, 2, 1. So now index value 0, 1, 2, 3. Now again j will point to the starting value 0. So compare the first element with second element. If first element is greater than second element, interchange. 4 greater than second element, interchange. Then it becomes 3, 4, 2, 1. Index value 0, 1, 2 and 3. So now increase j value. J points to next element. Compare next two elements. If first element greater than second element, interchange. Then it becomes 3, 2, 4, 1. So index value 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now increase j value. J points to next element. Compare next two element. If first element greater than second element, interchange. Interchange means then it becomes 3, 2, 4, 1. Index value 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now j points to last element. We don't have any other element to compare. Then stop that iteration. So it becomes 1 and 4. Interchange means it becomes 1 and 4. So what did we do in second process? So we have identified the next element. This is the position of this element. See, the actual position of this element 5 is 4. Actual position of 4 is 3. So in the next process, we need to identify the next largest element. We need to perform operation with respect to these 3 elements. So we are left with 3, 2 and 1. Index value now 0, 1, 2. So compare first element with second element. Assume j points to 0. Compare a of j with a of j plus 1. First element greater than second element, interchange. It becomes 2, 3, 1. Index value 0, 1, 2. Increase j value. J points to next element. Compare these two element. First element greater than second element as interchange. 2, 1, 3, 0, 1, 2. Increase j value. J points to last element. We don't have any other element to compare. Stop. In the third process, we have identified the next largest element. The position of this element is 2. This is the actual position of 2. Okay. Perform the same operation with respect to remaining elements, that is 2 and 1. Index value 0, 1. So j points to 0. So compare first element with second element. 2 greater than 1, yes, interchange. Then it becomes 1, 2. So j plus plus, j points to next element. So we don't have any other element to compare. Stop. So what did we achieve? So we identify the next largest element. We brought that element to its position. So we are left with only one element. So when you get one element, stop the actual operation. So the last element position will be 0 itself. No need to compare with any other elements. Hope you guys have understood the logic of bubble sort. Let us start discussing the program. So before we discuss the program, let us quickly see to the output of this program once. So what is the expected output of this program? First of all, I need to know the actual size of array. Means I need to collect n value. Let me ask user to enter number of elements. So assume E enters the value as 5 elements. So next I need to collect elements inside this array. So for that also I will display one message, enter array elements. So user will enter. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So before I sort and display the sorted elements, first I will display the values entered by the user by displaying one message, the original elements are. Means the way user has entered, in the similar manner I will display 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Once the elements are sorted, I will display the sorted elements. Before displaying, I will tell the sorted elements are. So upon sorting, I will get the elements in this manner: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is the expected output of this program. Keeping this output as a reference, I will start writing the program. So you know that every C program starts with one header file, hash include stdio.h. So all the header files present in this would be included in my program. So what next? So any logic you must write, it must be written in one function called as main. So main is a default function. Assume this is the beginning of main function. Somewhere here I will close. This is a closure of main function, assume. Okay, so let me see to the output. So I am displaying this message at the beginning. So how to print that message? Use printf function. Printf enter number of elements /n means after displaying that message, cursor will move to the next line. Immediately user will enter that integer value. I must collect. Before I collect that value, I should declare one variable. Let me create one integer variable n. So how to collect that value? A scanf function is used to read inputs. So since I am collecting integer value, it will be %d. Whatever value enters by the user will be collected at address of n. Okay, this is done, this is done. Next, I need to display a message saying that enter array elements. How to print that message? Printf enter array elements /n. Upon printing this, cursor will move to next line. So notice here, so user is not entering one value, rather is entering more than one value. I said you in the last program, whenever you want to execute any statement more than one time, then you must use something called as loop. Since I am reading more than one value, hence I need to use loop. How many times that loop must execute? 5 times, means n times that loop must execute. Now write a for loop which execute 5 times. So I need to create one loop variable, assume I. So assume I starts at 0. So 0, index value will be 0. I should traverse up to 4. So but n as 5 means I should traverse up to 1 lesser than n. So I should tell I less than n. Till then I should increase the value of I. So every time I should collect the value. To collect the value we have scanf function. So every time we can collect only one integer value, so 1% d. Whatever I collect, it must be stored inside array A. What is the name of the array? So I have not created. Let me create array of type integer. Let me say A of 10. So how to create an array data type followed by array name and the size inside the rectangular braces. Integer array, name of the array is A and the size of array is 10. So every time I must collect the elements to the array A at index value I. What is this? Notice now. I initially it will be 0. First time A must first element must be collected at A of 0. I value will be 0. I plus plus. Next value would be collected at A of 1. Next value would be collected at A of 2. Next value A of 3. Next A of 4. Now I value becomes A of I. So next I value becomes 5. Is 5 less than 5? Condition fails. By the time you come out of the for loop, all the elements should be collected inside array. Hope you guys understood this. Next, before I sort the elements, let me display the array elements in the manner they are present. So before I display, I should display one message. So I should tell printf the original elements are /n. So here also I am not displaying one elements, rather I am displaying more than one elements. So more than one time, if you want to perform any operation, use loop. So here also I need to write one loop which execute 5 times. Okay, let me say for I equals to, so 5 times starting from 0 means 1 lesser than n. So I should tell less than n, I plus plus. So previously I was collecting, now I should print the value. So to print I should use printf. Every time you will be printing one integer value, so 1% d. You must print the elements present in this array called as A. First time A of 0, A of 1 next time A of 2, next time A of 3 and so on. So I should tell print the element present at A of I. Because first time I will be 0, next time 1, 2, 3 and so on. So I value is 0 initially. 0 less than 5, yes, come inside, print A of 0. Next time 1, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4 and so on. Some point in time I value becomes 5. Is 5 less than 5? Condition fails. By the time you come out of this for loop, all the elements should be printed. Now the actual logic would be discussed. Notice now I said the bubble sort. In bubble sort, initially in the first process we'll be finding the largest element, in the next process next largest element, in the next process the next largest element, so on. So how long this operation must be performed? Till I get one element in a process, I should keep on performing the operation. Notice here, if there are 5 elements, how many times I need to perform operation? 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. So 4 time you are performing, in the sense you need to perform n minus 1 time. You need to perform this operation n minus 1 time. I said whenever you want to perform operation more than 1 time, use loop. So I should write one loop which actually execute n minus 1 time. I will repeat. So how many times I perform this operation when the element is 5? 1 time, 2 time, third time and 4th time. So let me call this as 0th time, 1th time, 2nd time and the 3rd time. So now I should write one loop which actually executes n minus 1 time. So let me say for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Notice here, if I tell 0 less than n means it actually execute 5 times. I said it must execute 4 times, so that I should tell n minus 1. So 0 up to n minus 1, it will be less than 4. Up to 3 it will execute. That is what even I want. Starting from 0 up to 3 it will execute. Okay, so in every iteration, so I initially it will be 0, next time it will be 1, next time 2, and the last time it will be 3. So notice in every process, this is first process, second process, third process, and the fourth process. So in every process we are comparing the elements. First I am comparing first 2 elements, next I am comparing next 2 elements, next I am comparing next 2 elements, and so on. In every process, in every operation, I am comparing not one time, more than one time. So I said whenever you want to perform any operation more than one time, use loop. Okay, I'm already using one loop which actually take care of these operations. In every operations we are comparing the elements. So in every operation I'm comparing more than one element. In this operation also I'm comparing more than one element. In this operation also I'm doing comparison more than one time. In this operation also I'm doing comparison more than one time. So what I need to do? So I need to write one more for loop which actually take care of these comparisons, because I'm doing this comparison more than one time. So I should write one more for loop inside this for loop. This concept we call it as nested for loop. Okay, how many times it must execute? So I have already used I. Next, one more variable I will declare j. How many times it should execute? Now notice, so j 0. How long it traversed in the first operation? From 0 up to 3 if I traverse, that is sufficient, isn't it? So 0 up to 3. In the second operation, starting from 0 up to 2 if I traverse, that is sufficient. In the next operation, from 0 up to 1, that is sufficient. In the last operation, from 0 up to 0 itself. Oh, starting value in all the operation is same, so I will tell starting value as 0. And one more thing, you know that every time you are increasing the j value, this is also fine, j plus plus. Then what must be the condition? See, in the first operation I am comparing 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, isn't it? See, 1 time for first 2 elements, second time next 2 elements, third time next 2 elements, isn't it? And the last time next 2 elements. So 4 times I need to perform this operation. Oh, what to do? 4 times I am doing the comparison. With respect to this, 1 time I am comparing, 2 time I am comparing, 3 times I am doing the comparisons. In the next operation, 1 time I am comparing and 2 times I am comparing. So 2 comparisons in next operation. Here 1 time I am comparing. So here the inner for loop will not be constant. For a first time the inner for loop must execute, means the comparison must be done 4 times. In the next operation, inner for loop must execute 3 times, means comparison must be done 3 times. In the next operation, comparison must be done twice. In the last operation, comparison must be done 1 time. So what must be the condition? It is not constant. Every time it is changing. First time it must execute, inner for loop must execute 4 times. Next time 3, afterwards 2, and in the last time 1. So what must be the condition? So shall I tell 4 as 0 up to 3? 0 up to 3 I get same number count. 0, 1, 2, 3. I get 4 count. For 3 shall I tell 0 up to 2? For 2 shall I tell 0 up to 1? For 1 shall I tell 0 up to 0? That is what even I am doing. See, j is traversing from 0. I am traversing up to 3. That is what even I want, 0 to 3. In the second operation, from 0 up to 2 traverse, if I traverse, that is sufficient, isn't it? The next operation, 0 up to 1 and 0 up to 0. That is what even I want. So how to get this value? For that I will write one condition like this. I will traverse till j less than n minus, see, you can notice here, how do I get this 3? N is having 5. N is having 5. If I tell less than n, it will traverse up to 4. If I tell n minus 1, it will traverse up to 3. But I can't write that condition. Every time it is not same. Then what must be the condition? Shall I tell n minus I minus 1? See, I value is 0. Shall I tell 5 minus 0 minus 1? So it will be 3. Less than, if I tell less than n minus I minus 1. So 5 minus 0 is 5, minus 1, 4. Less than 4 means I will traverse up to 3. Here also, you know that n value is 5, less than n minus I minus 1. If I tell, so 5 minus I value will be 1. 5 minus 1, 4, 4 minus 1, 3. Less than 3 means it will traverse up to 2. Here also same thing, less than n minus I minus 1. So n is 5, 5 minus I is 2 in this case. So 5 minus 2, 3, 3 minus 1, 2. Less than 2 means it will traverse up to 1. Similarly here also, less than n minus I minus 1. So 5 minus I will be 3. 5 minus 3, 2. 2 minus 1, 1. Less than 1 means it will traverse up to 0. Hence I can write condition like this. J less than n minus I minus 1. So this is the beginning of inner for loop. So initially I will be 0. Yes, J will also be 0. So it will traverse up to 3 for a first time. Every time you traverse, compare the two elements. Okay, what is the name of first element? A of J. J is pointing to this. Compare it with next element. What's the name of this element? So the name of this element J will be 0. This index value will be J plus 1. So the name of this element is A of J plus 1. I should compare this element with this element. How to compare? You know, if statement is used. If I should check for first element. If it is greater than second element, interchange. What's the name of first element? If A of J is greater than A of J plus 1. If A of J greater than A of J plus 1, interchange. I can't directly interchange. I need to use one temporary variable to interchange. Okay, let me use temporary variable. What is this temporary variable? It is one variable. Assume temp, temp. So I can't directly interchange. I should make use of this third variable to interchange. Let me assign this value A of J inside 5. So let me initialize this A of J plus 1 to A of J. So this will be 4. Now let me initialize temp value to A of J plus 1. So it becomes 5. So what I should do? First give A of J value to temp. So let me give A of J to temp. Now give A of J plus 1 value to A of J. So it will be A of J plus 1 to A of J. Now give temp value to A of J plus 1. Now give temp value to A of J plus 1. That's all the logic. So close the if statement, close the inner for loop, close the outer for loop. Okay. How many times the outer for loop will execute? If there are 5 elements, it should execute 4 times, starting from 0 up to 3. So the condition will be written like this: 0 up to less than n minus 1. 5 minus 1 is 4. Less than 4 means up to 3 it will traverse. That is what even I want. Inner for loop, how many times it will execute? N minus I minus 1. For a first time, it must execute 4 times. So the condition would be written like this: n minus I minus 1. So it will be n 5 minus 0 minus 1. 5 minus 1, 4. Less than 4 means up to 3 it will traverse. That is what even I want. 4 means 0 to 3. Next time, how many times it will execute? 0 up to n minus I minus 1. By that time, I value would be 1. So it will be up to 2. So less than 3 means 0 up to 2. So this is how the loop would be executed. By the time you come out of both the for loop, I will be getting the sorted elements. The sorted elements would be present in the same array itself. How to display these elements? Notice the output. Before I display the element, I should display this message. What is that message? Printf. The sorted elements are /n. So more than one elements I need to display. See, by the time I come out of both the for loop, the elements would be sorted. So at 0th index, I will be having the smallest element. at one index the next element, and in the last index the largest element would be present. So I need to display all the elements. You can notice here. So at fourth index largest element would be present, at third index next largest, at second index next largest, at first index next largest, and at zeroth index the smallest element would be present. Okay, the sorted element should be present in the same array itself. I need to display how many elements, more than one element. More than element means use loop. This loop must also execute 5 times. I equals to, starting from 0, I less than n, I plus plus. Every time I should display the element. So I should tell printf. So percentage d, every time you will print one value. So after printing element I need some space, so I will use slash d. It is tab space, means it will give 5 spaces. So what I need to display, array elements. So I need to tell a of I. That's it. This is your lab program 11. Hope you guys have understood the logic. Thank you.